Upliftment Records, baby. Woodcliff Music.
Yo, bless up, bless up, bless up, bless up. They know this again, nene. Pamanze nene skerwe. Do itaje mapipe vanorizenza saudini. They know this again, nene. Pamanze nene skerwe. Do itaje mapipe vanorizenza saudini. Yo, big up, big up, big up, big up, one and all. Yes, I'm just here to talk about the issue which is actually ongoing right now, the Zimura issue. Yeah, and it's and the thing is, most people might just take it as a issue is not bad, but what I've noticed is the majority of us Zimbabweans, could be artists and non-artists, fans, we don't really know much about Zimura Royalties. We don't really know much about the music industry. We're not educated in that, because when we grew up in a system whereby music was regarded as manga, chirombe. So nobody really took much interest into it. But when you look into other developed countries, you see music is actually a multi-billion-dollar industry. Most of these countries are actually making money, good business with music, because they regard it as an industry. What happens is Isusu, if you going back to the 80s, Zimura, I think it's about 40 years old now. Yeah, if you look at it, I never have any knowledge of how things went back then. There was a time Pakatombe an uprising with artists like Leonard Dembo, Chukumkanya, and all those big artists. Bakata uprising that time because from independence, I think from way back before independence, they didn't know much about royalties. Their songs were just being played on the radio, but they didn't know they're supposed to be getting money from airplay. And then a certain someone, an elder of mine, in '84, when he came to Zimbabwe and he started living in Zimbabwe, he's the one who actually was talking to the artists and asking them about, so how much royalties do you get? And some of the artists were saying, what is royalties? Then he started explaining to them, when you get airplay on radio, you're supposed to be getting money, you see, from that airplay. And this led to a big uprising. So most artists got paid big paychecks, because it was getting backdated now. So artists like James Chumombe, Leonard Dembo, Oliver Mtukudzi, Thomas Mafumo, and all those, they started getting paid, So fast forward now, we're in the 21st century, right? And we're looking at it, and it's still the same thing. Now it's even worse, because the majority of artists nowadays, they are ignorant, ignorant to the fact that they think, royalties are nabasa, you see. But let me tell you something, royalties matter. No matter who you are, you could be the biggest artist in the country, you could be filling up, shows, stadiums, whatever, but royalties, that's your pension. Royalties, that's kind of appear, baby. When your voice gone, you can't sing. Royalties will keep you going. Those chakuchengeters or saka, you should make sure, you chase after your royalties, because what's good about royalties is even when you're not singing, 20 years from now, if somebody copies your song, or somebody redoes your covers your song, you're still going to get paid. Why? Because of your royalties, right? If you get old, you can't stand on stage and but if your song keeps playing on the radio, you still get paid. So let me dive deep into what really royalties are, because most people don't really understand this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a structure of the UK industry, because it's one of the most structured music industry in the world, like UK, America, those two are actually up there. So when you're talking of structures, so everything we use is mainly like copied from those two countries. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain how the UK they use what is called the PRS. In America they've got BMI, I think, here, and I think they've got two of them. So here we have PRS, right? In Zimbabwe they've got Zimura. In South Africa they've got Samro, yeah, and they've got another one as well, because there's another one which collects mechanical royalties. Okay, right. For now we're going to focus on UK structures. Kuti mungobata like what it means kupiwa ma royalties andika. I don't mean kuti those zvakafanana nezvedu, but it's just like giving you the sense of what royalties are like, right? So we look at royalties and the estimated payout per minute, because this is what happens. They estimate it for a minute, right? A song will go for 3 minutes, because average songs they want on radio, it's 3 minutes 30 seconds, yeah, something like that. And so we just work with 3 minutes. And if we're gonna song you're going in 7 minutes, there's no way it's going to be played for 7 minutes. They'll obviously cut it and so we'll make it 3 minutes, right? Now look at it this way, right? For a minute, and this is UK, BBC Radio pays approximately £32.40, right? All right, let's just convert it to dollars. And I'm not going to say pounds, I'll just say dollars. And okay, so that people won't get confused. And so BBC Radio 2, it's like a grown-up radio station. It was just like if you remember Radio 1 or Classic, the ones in Zimbabwe, that's kind of thing. So BBC Radio 2, approximately $32.40, and it $32.40 per minute. And this is the highest paying station in the UK due to its massive audience. So it's got like a massive audience. So what happens with radio stations is they actually do their figures according to how the radio station is getting like audience. So if your radio station is popular, which means the payout will be higher to the artist. If your radio station is not getting so much, obviously the payout will be low, right? But here's the thing now. The lowest in the UK is £5. Don't go to $5 per minute per song, and that's the lowest you can get, right? And average you can even get some which are charging like $14. That's like BBC Radio 1. That's a popular radio station, at 14 per minute. Then you have some which charge for like 50 cents to $1 per minute. I gotta mean it to my community radio stations or whatever. Those are doing to see the popular direction, because Panama radio stations, Panama sensor stations, those are large radio stations. Right? That's not who use FM and Power FM. Those are sensors. It's like every track played, you get paid per minute. And because of these simple stations, these are smaller community radio stations, like the one I was talking about, right? So these ones they only pay you like for 90. Is it 90 days? Yeah. 90 days per year, I think, if your song gets played in that 90 days. If your song get played outside that 90 days, so that's how tricky it is. But then now back to the royalties. When we say let's work with this one, the lowest, let's say for $5 per minute. So let's look at it this way now. $5 per minute. Your song has got 3 minutes. So 3 minutes times 5 which is 15 $15 per one song per reach gonna DJ 8 o'clock in the morning. Saka song yako ikapinda pa playlist normally inenge chirova every